Hello, everybody. Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World, baby. On today's episode of the Prime, we're going to be doing that show we were supposed to do last week. We're breaking down the Summer League, give you guys our thoughts and analysis on what we've seen so far in the Summer League. It's some stuff we've been keeping an eye on as we've been watching the Summer League. I'm, of course, your host, David On Point Huffman. I should be joined here momentarily, Mr. TJ Hopkins, and by CEO of Prime Sports World, Israel Rivera. And if you want to join us on the Prime, I've shared the StreamYard link into all of the places. Welcome to the show, TJ. Just talking about, we're bringing down the 2023 NBA Summer League here today. A lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to the NBA Summer League. Some good, some bad, and some indifferent. But happy Monday, TJ. And welcome to the show, Israel Rivera. Are you in Utah right now?
No. I'm at the Honda getting my car fixed.
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's too hot to not have AC in your car. Okay.
I don't have AC in my car and I get by, but you know.
Oh my God, David. Okay. Anyways,
let's just start by talking about Summer League. So let's just talk first of all. Let's talk about the first three picks. How have they looked on the court? Let's talk about Victor Wembanyama. We saw him in 2 games. Really struggled in the first game. Came back in the second game. Was really impressive in the second game. What are you guys' thoughts on Victor Wembanyama so far? His 2 games in Summer League, and your impressions of him as a player so far. Hold on a second.
Hold on. Before I let TJ go ahead and destroy him real quick. Just on the first game, because I know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna say the positives. He gonna do the negatives. I already know. First game is just because he hasn't played. He was rusty. He hasn't played basketball in, golly, I think it was like a little over a month. I don't even think it was like 6 weeks or 5 or 6 weeks or something like that. Also, I just think he didn't have much practice time with the Summer League guys. Also, I mean, it's a guard. Summer League is really super guard orientated in a way. So for a guy like Victor Wembanyama, I think he struggled that first game trying to get adjusted. Also, I do think that, he has some trouble getting to his spots, and that's where TJ is going to come in. That's where TJ is going to come in and say he needs to get some strength.
The guard play for the San Antonio Spurs is really not good on their Summer League team. So, he had to create a lot of his own offense. I just don't think he's suited for that yet. First game really struggled. Also, check it out, guys. Check it out, all right? I don't know if you can see that or not.
My man ain't never got the Victor Wembanyama jersey. Look at this guy. Oh, my gosh. That is awesome, David.
Yeah.
I need to get one of those.
Yeah.
I need to get one of those.
I got it from the China.
Oh, okay. I gotta hit it up.
Yeah, but I mean, Victor Wembanyama for sure struggled in his first game, going 2 for 13 from the field, but bounced back in really a professional way. 27 points in the second game. The guard play for the San Antonio Spurs is really not good. Really puts a lot of pressure on a guy like Victor Wembanyama to create his own shots. So against men, TJ, go ahead.
I'm not sure he's rookie of the year. I'm not sure he's going to be rookie of the year this year. I would say that for somebody else.
I think it's a little premature to say that based on just.
I know that.
But
I'm just saying.
But he played 2 games. He scored 36 points. He had 20 rebounds, 8 blocks. Even in the game he struggled, he had 5 blocks in that game.
Yeah, no, he was impacting it defensively even when he wasn't getting his offense going.
Sorry, CJ, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead, man.
Yes, hey, it's summer league, bro. It's not even real NBA players. It's guys trying to get to the NBA, and yeah, like it is what he had one bad game, he had one good game, and everybody wants to fawn over the one good game he had. It's like, yeah, he's playing against practice squad dudes and other
Hmm.
rookies and guys trying to get to the league. I I know he caught a lot of flack for saying he said the same thing Luka Doncic said, that playing over in Europe is harder than playing here, and it's like, no, you haven't played real NBA basketball yet.
You haven't played here yet. Like,
Yeah, you haven't played here yet, and I know he's played against some NBA guys for example, AS Monaco. He goes against he went against Donatas Matajunas, right? Who was a old NBA, who's a vet in the NBA for 7 years. But that's a small barometer, right? Of NBA guys that are over there playing. Those are guys that were journeymen, guys that maybe were first round picks that didn't last in the league for long. Um, so yeah, I mean, you got to play against Embiid, Jokic, who else? Anybody that's
yeah.
any
I mean,
big man in a
Jokic.
suitable big man,
Joel
Nurkic,
Embiid. I
Nurkic,
mean,
Joe,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, all of them. All the big men that are physical. I mean, even his the
Steven
guy he looks up,
Adams.
Rudy Gobert. Guys like that. You got to go against real muscle instead of because a lot of times we already know this that when he was playing in the French Pro League, they wouldn't even use those tall guys on him. They would use smaller, like 6'6", 6'6". They'll use the strongest guy on him to try and get him out the paint. And all he has to do is catch it and shoot right over him. It's impossible to block a shot. But when you start going against 7-foot guys that are kind of almost as skilled as you, now let's see what happens. You know.
Moving on from Victor Wembanyama, because we're going to be talking about him a lot during this offseason. Let's talk about the second overall pick, Brandon Miller. Struggled at times in the summer league. In his first 2 games in Sacramento, before they shifted over into Vegas, he has many fouls as field goal attempts, as he was really pretty passive in Sacramento. Then he goes to Vegas, shoots 16 points shots per game, only made 35% of them, only 26% from the 3-point range. He did end the summer league on a very high note, putting up 26 points and 6 rebounds in the final game that he played before the Hornets shut him down. What were your thoughts on Brandon Miller in summer league?
Same things. Like, it's literally the same thing. I think because I think they're so, what you call it, they're so protective of these players. Like, it's like, oh, we're gonna shut you down now. It's like, for what? For what? Like, no, we're shutting you down for what? They're not gonna play ball again until what you call it, preseason, and even then they're probably gonna play limited minutes in that. It's like, unless they get hurt, like what you call it, Asar Thompson did, or anybody.
And Scoot Henderson got injured too in his first summer league game.
And he looked really good. Both of them looked good in their first action.
But yeah, but Brandon Miller, yeah, I mean the percentages from the field is a little concerning. But yeah, it's still only his first, handful of games in the NBA or any real NBA action. I take a little bit with a grain of salt.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna take some positives from what I saw with him. His game translates very well to the NBA, especially the open space, especially the playmaking with bigger wing players, being able to control the ball, make for his teammates. But what really stood out to me was defensively. I think he affected the game in other ways than scoring, right? And I think that we got to look at even though he's got some of those fouls, he's got to kind of he was just being a little aggressive at times. I just think that defensively, I think he's going to be pretty solid up there. And like I'm telling you, man, Paul George 2.0. I mean, not 2.0, but he's like a Paul George light. I give a Paul George diet. Paul George, right? He's not quite Paul George, but he's almost there, and I can see the defensive ability in him. So at the next level. we already know what he can do at college offensively, right? We've seen him kill it
I
last
mean,
year. So
I think there are still some concerns like with like him ability to finish at the rim, um, but
that's true.
but yeah, I mean, he finished up with his most impressive game in the summer league. I still think the freak athleticism is still there, and I think the shooting stuff it'll even out. He's too good of a shooter to shoot it this poorly for any real length of time.
Absolutely.
TJ, any other thoughts?
No, not really. You can only take summer league basketball with a grain of salt. It's
True.
like
For real.
It's
like
true. We'll get to that when we get to Go Talk. That's for sure. Moving.
I just despise the whole. Oh, this guy looked good in summer league. Why didn't they sign him? Because it's fucking summer league. That's why.
Like Lester Quinones. Lester Quinones killed it. He probably ain't gonna even play for Golden State.
Move game before leaving with the right shoulder injury and not playing for the rest of the summer league. But he had 15 points and 6 assists in just 21 minutes of action, as he probably will be the Damian Lillard's heir apparent if that trade ever happens. We'll get to that in a little bit too as well. What do you think about the one game out of Scoot Henderson? It's really hard to really judge him on the one sample size, but he did look extremely explosive in his one game on the floor.
So, like he got off to a hot start. I think he hit his first like 6 or 7 shots, and then all of a sudden, I think he went down with a shoulder injury, and then that was the last we saw of Scoot Henderson in the summer league. Again, grain of salt. All right, you're not gonna go 6 for 6 or 7 for 7 when you play the actual NBA game. All right, it's not gonna be guys. Hey man, I'm trying to earn a roster spot. Like, no, you're gonna play against guys that, hey, I got a mortgage to pay, I got kids to feed, I got kids to put through private school. They gonna be serious.
Yeah, but I think one of the things about Scoot Henderson, like I didn't necessarily see out of Brandon Miller, like when Scoot Henderson was on the floor, you kind of knew it. Like you kind of could tell when he was on the. Brandon Miller kind of got lost a little bit, especially in Sacramento. Those 2 games he played over there. But yeah, I think it's really hard to judge him based on the 2 games. Basically the 21 minutes he played, but he did look good in those first games. It's unfortunate he went down with an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's what it is.
Moving on from there, let's talk about some winners and losers. Just talking about rookies here. Who do you guys have your summer league rookie winners?
I mean, is Chet Holmgren technically a rookie, right?
Technically.
Yeah, I guess.
Can we establish that right now? Yeah, Chet.
I mean, he's going to be eligible for he's going to be eligible for rookie of the year. And yeah, so yeah, he's for sure eligible for this.
I'll leave a couple names. Because I know TJ probably wants to say a couple names, but I'll say the boy from Miami, Jaime Jaquez, and then I'll say the next one that's the most. You already know the kid from Houston that went late round.
Cam Whitmore.
Yeah, he was a killer.
Averaged 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. Also, summer league MVP. While being his ridiculous slip, he made all the dollars long based on the medical report.
I honestly, in my opinion, I think a huge winner. Yeah, huge winner.
TJ.
Oh, you got him. Well, you got those guys. What's his name for the Bulls? Had a good season. Summer league. Javon Freeman Liberty parlayed that into getting a deal with the Raptors. It's like that's kind of the purpose of summer league. Right? It's guys you're auditioning for every team, not just the team you're playing summer league with. You're auditioning for every team. And Izzy brought up an interesting Lester Quinones for the Warriors summer league team. He had a good summer league, but where is he?
He's probably not going to play for them.
He's not going to play for them.
No, he's probably not going to play for them.
So I just wish fans I love what summer league has turned into. I love that it's something that we look forward to in the off season. But at the same time, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. It's not going to be your favorite players playing in summer league. It's not happening. So
I got two more names. Go ahead, TJ.
I got one more.
Go ahead.
I got.
I got two more names. I was just about to say he was one away. He was one. There we go.
Huge winner out of the summer league. Shot at 43% from the field, 40% from the 3-point line. Did not miss a free throw while he was in summer league, while averaging 17.2 points a game, while being on a Cleveland Cavaliers team that won the summer league. That Isaiah Mobley won the summer league MVP from that one game.
Yeah,
like Monty Bates.
Yeah, big Mobley. That's big Mobley. That's
Evan Mobley's a lot of his doubters by the way he played in the summer league.
Man, Imani Bates is a flamethrower. I mean, he can score. I mean, he's 19, bro. People forget that he reclassified. A lot of people that are casual fans, he reclassified. So really, technically, this year or this past year when he was at Eastern Michigan, that was really supposed to be his actual freshman year of college basketball. Right, TJ? Because he reclassified to go too early to Memphis. So he was a little mature or whatnot. But I'm not going to bring that up. This kid has his butt off at Eastern Michigan. Then he goes to the Cavs and he's playing his butt off in Cleveland. He's definitely going to get a spot on the team. He's 19. He was one of the best players in America out of high school.
I mean, he might start at small.
This kid is going to be.
No, he can't.
Oh, if he does, he's got to get a little bit more muscle, but he's going to come off the bench. He's going to average like 12, 15 a game.
I can see a scenario where he's starting for them at small forward this season.
Why?
At some point, but he's got to get more.
I mean, let's not pretend like the small forward position's all locked up there in Cleveland. I mean,
well, Karis LeVert's still there, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I think Imani Bates has more upside than Karis LeVert does at this point.
And at the same time, you're the Cleveland Cavaliers. You're a playoff team. You're not betting on upside anymore. Those days are gone.
Those days are definitely gone.
I think he's going to start some legitimate minutes for them.
Another guy. Keontae George had a hell of a summer league for the Utah Jazz. Shot 44% from 3, 21 to game 6. I mean, I love what he just looks like a pro already.
In his debut game for the Utah Jazz, he put up a 33-point 10-assist game in his first game in the summer league, including 6 3-pointers.
Yeah. There's another kid too. Oh, go ahead, TJ.
I love Imani Bates as much as you do, Izzy, but I think the roster that he's going to be on, that Cleveland roster, if he makes the final roster, he would be lucky to be a two-way guy. I'm so serious.
You think so? You think he's going to be in the G League? Well,
I don't think he'll be in the G League. I that's my honest opinion. I don't know. I think he's going to be a viable bench player for them. I think he's going to play some legitimate minutes.
I think TJ's onto something. I think to start the season, though, David, I think they will put because you got to find minutes for him. And if you don't got minutes for the young guy, you got to get minutes for him. They're going to do him like the James Wiseman or how they do young guys. Put him in a G League, two-way player. Bring him up when he's ready.
That stuff never works. I can't even think of an instance outside of Ayo Dosunmu, right? He started on a two-way contract, ended up working his way into the main roster. But I can't think of that many guys that have been on that two-way and ended up becoming like a legitimate piece for a team.
Man, at small forward shooting guard, they got Isaac Okoro. They got I don't know if Chetty Osman.
He's an excellent. Yeah, he's still there.
And who's the other kid? Wade, Dean Wade, still there.
Wade, he's still there.
He's still there.
Jetty Osman,
Karis LeVert's still there.
Karis LeVert's still there. Like, where are you going to play? Where are you going to play him at? Where you going to get some legit?
He's going to
for
play
who, David? No, he's not.
Yes, he will.
No, he's not. He's gonna be in the G League. He's gonna be with their G League team, bro.
We'll see.
We will see.
Again, this is a playoff. This is a playoff team that won 51 games. They are not the days of upside in Cleveland are done. They are done with that.
I'm totally 50-50. I agree with both of y'all. I really don't know what's gonna happen with that kid, but he's got talent.
Moving on from there, let's talk from the winners. Unless you got another winner, right?
I had Leonard Miller from Minnesota. Like Leonard Miller, big guy. He had some good, a couple good games. Was it 15-8? He shot 37% from 3, which shocked me. So Leonard Miller looked good, and he's been playing against grown men for the last 2 years. So.
Moving on from the winners, let's talk about a little bit of losers, players that kind of struggled in summer league. Who do you guys got at the rookie spot?
I mean, you did say one of them. I mean, Brandon Miller. I wouldn't say he's a loser though, because he's a top 3 pick. Um, Golly, I mean, I'd have to look and see who's like a crazy loser here.
So I got two, actually
But
3 guys, just based on stats. So the kid Brandon Podziemski, he went to the Golden State Warriors.
he had a horrible summer league.
He averaged 8.6 points per game, shot at 21.7% from the 3-point line. He did have 6.8 rebounds and 6 assists per game. Looking at some of his strengths there, struggled from the perimeter, shot making, playmaking, elite rebounding, but he did rebound and play make pretty good as a guard. But the shot making that you thought you would get for sure out of him, it didn't really work out for him really there. Thunder guard Kason Wallace, another guy. He got off to a strong start, shooting 6 for 10 from 3 in his Summer League debut, but it tailed off after that. 6 for 21 for the rest of the way. Final 4 games, he had more turnovers than assists through 4 games as well. That's not ideal.
And it's summer league.
And then Lakers guard Jalen Hood-Schifino as well, also struggled from the field, shooting at 34% from the field and 21% from the 3-point line. Just struggled shooting consistent shot selection. Like to see him put up be a little more efficient than he was.
Not gonna lie to you guys, I had nothing but winners. I didn't have any losers for rookies. But I know Brandon Podziemski was horrible for the Golden State Warriors. But he's a kid though. He's a guy that, man. I mean, he's another guy that's got to get adjusted to the pro level. I mean, you're going from Santa Clara. I mean, he used to play at U of I, and then he transferred to Santa Clara. He became a first-round pick. But I mean, everybody makes that jump from the WCC.
I mean, the other thing is, it's a really small sample size. Like, we're talking like 5 games.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard to really get a grip of what this player is going to be when they're only playing, 4 games.
They were
what
was it? They was in that Sacramento, not Sacramento, the California Classic. They played in that, and then you go to Vegas and you play in that summer league. However many games that is. Again, it's like you said, it's not a big sample size for what these guys. You're basing these guys off of like what 7 games at the most. If they did,
you're talking about them playing like 20 minutes a night and 7 games. Like, it's really not.
I'll give you guys one too. Derek Lively. I know he was averaging 8 and 8. Which is what we want to see, but I want to 0.6 on blocks. I want to see 2-3 blocks a game from him. Like, he's that athletic. He's a defensive stalwart. This is why they drafted you, right? So I would like to see a little bit more from him on the defensive end. If I had any loser, other than the ones that you called out, it would probably be him. So
let's swing it over for talking about rookies. Let's talk about non-rookies. So guys that really showed out. First one for me is Jabari Smith. When you want somebody, like when they come back from the summer league for the second season, right? You want the guy, especially if he's like a top 5 pick, you want it to be like he doesn't really belong there. Jabari Smith didn't belong in the summer league, which is why they only shut him down after 2 games. He averaged 35 points a night, gets 7 rebounds and 4 assists. Like, when a guy comes back for his second season in the summer league after playing in a full NBA season, you want that guy to show out, and Jabari Smith for sure did that.
And he hit a game winner. Yeah.
He shot the ball.
We said the same. Me and TJ said the same thing about point guard from OKC, TJ Giddey. Remember he was playing the summer league and sophomore year? Like, what the hell is he doing?
It's like, what are you
doing out here?
Like, what are you like, bro? Was good. He got triple doubles as a rookie. If you don't sit your ass down somewhere, bro, like.
and I had this guy. I had this guy under like non-rookies. I had Chet Holmgren, who looked really good in his first couple of games in the summer league. Before they.
All the Houston guys look good. Like Tari Eason looked good. Jabari Smith looked good. Cam Whitmore looked good. The Thompson kid looked good before he went down. Houston's got some upside coming up here. I'll give you another. Jaden Hardy in Dallas had a really good summer league this year. 23 points. What do you have? 23 points, 4 rebounds, almost 6 rebounds a game, 3 assists. What did he shoot? He did shoot it horribly from the 3-point range, 24%. But he was still getting to the basket, getting to the rim whenever at will. So I like what I saw out of Jaden Hardy.
And the
for
Miami Heat
Mavericks.
continue to find diamonds in the rough. This Orlando Robinson on their summer league team, all summer league first team, averaged 25 points with basically 60% from the field, 9 rebounds, 3 assists and a half,
He's-
well, stealing it. Like
He's going to be a nice addition to somebody's roster. I don't know if he makes Miami, but he'll be a nice addition to somebody's roster.
Yeah.
If I'm Miami, I'm not signing nobody else that's like that. Like,
No, not at all.
You saw what you needed. You know what you need. Like, you saw what you needed. The last thing you need is more undrafted dudes, all because they fit quote unquote Heat culture. That shit only gonna get you so far, because you shouldn't have made it as far as you did. And as far as Jabari Smith is concerned, like, I appreciate what you call it, the mindset. He's like, yo, we went 20 and 60, whatever. Everybody should be on. Everybody who played last year should be here. And while I appreciate the sentiment, bruh, you started for the team. You should not be playing summer league. We can't. This didn't tell me nothing more about you that I didn't already know.
Right.
How did you get better in this instance when you're playing against literally the same people? Like, no, I didn't learn anything new about you, Jabari Smith Jr. I didn't. Like, that's like my biggest pet peeve against summer league, right? Like, guys that played, like, you spent most of your season as a starter. The Pistons did it. Like, let me look it up. Who did they have on their summer league roster?
I mean,
like, guys, like last year they had Isaiah Stewart, and Isaiah Stewart started like 70 games for them. Why was
He did
Isaiah?
not need to be in summer league.
I don't necessarily. If you love the sport and you always want to play, I mean, I don't necessarily hate it.
No,
let's move on. Let's move on to the other side of this coin.
Like, I ain't trying to hear that, David. I'm not trying to hear that at all.
Moving on to the other side of this coin, talk about the conversation with players that are like, second years and later, who kind of struggled in their second season in summer league, or even
I got a couple of them
that really struggled. All right, Izzy, go ahead.
The two guys from San Antonio, Blake Wesley and Malachi Branham.
Malachi Branham's another
absolutely terrible, and I
like those.
No, but see, TJ, those two dudes needed to be in summer league, and they look like crap. No, but TJ, I'm like, yo, you picked them dudes in the first round last year, so it's like they should be kind of ahead of the curve. No, they look like rookies again in summer league. I'm like.
Another one. I mean, we're going to talk about this in a few minutes.
Before we switch off to that, bro, why was Keegan Murray in summer league? Why was Keegan Murray playing for the Sacramento Kings, the team that went to the playoffs? Keegan, why? Why was Keegan Murray in summer league
this season?
Why was Keegan Murray in summer league?
And I'm sure the Miami.
Jaden Ivey played summer league. Why? Jalen Duren plays summer league. Why? What? Who does that help? How did they get better? Like, no.
I mean, it's gotta be in the contract that you have to play in the summer league your first 2 years, your first 2 years of the NBA. Like, it must be.
Like,
I want to see that.
I swear to God, I got to see that. Come on, bro. That's
to the losers. I think the Miami Heat really wish Nikola Jovic had played a lot better in the summer league. Averaging 8.5 points per game on 20% shooting from the 3-point line. There was a point where he missed every 3-point shot he took.
He was not good. He was not good either.
And he is going to be a piece. I'm assuming at some point we'll talk.
That's just mismanagement on the Heat's part, because you had this guy on the roster last season and you didn't play him. Like, you knew size was at a premium for your roster. Why not make him? Why not play him at the next level to get better? That made no sense.
It didn't help his trade value whatsoever. And then Hawks wing AJ Griffin didn't play a lot last season, but he come into the summer league, only averaged 9 points on 30% from over 3 games while he played. And then Blake Leslie obviously.
You know what though? AJ Griffin. I'm gonna say this. Even at Duke, I saw that he could not create a shot. He's the same as what's the young man that played with Zion? Cam Reddish. The same as Cam Reddish, where it's like Cam Reddish was not able to create a shot at the college level, and neither was AJ Griffin, and that stuff didn't trend. Well, I'm gonna say this: Cam Reddish a little bit better than AJ Griffin at the next level, but he just doesn't have a game where he can create off the dribble. He's a catch and shoot guy, and when he's not hitting his 3-pointers, what else is he doing offensively for you?
So you can make the argument that AJ okay, if you're an NBA rookie and you play, not start, and you play legit minutes, and you play over 70 games, you do not need to be in summer league. AJ Griffin's played in 72 games last season. 72. Averaged 19 and a half minutes a game. What? Like, why? Like that legit should be the stand. Like, hey man, you played 70. You started 12. You played in 72. You averaged 19 game. That's legit minutes in a 48-minute NBA game. You're getting basically half the minute. You're getting 20 minutes a game. You giving me 8. You giving me 9 points a game in 20 minutes. Why are you in summer league?
I agree with you on that. I think that look, Jeremy Shoshan didn't play in summer league, did he? Nope.
I didn't see him.
Nope.
But yeah, big shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers as they win the summer league. This has been our summer league kind of breakdown.
And the loser, Dalen Terry. Dalen Terry, I understand. Dalen Terry played for the Bulls last season, but he had a terrible summer league. Like the one thing I did see is like he had the confidence in his jump shot because he took a lot of shots, which I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, take the shot. Like, if they're gonna leave you open, take the shot. You cannot play the NBA and be scared to shoot.
But yeah, big shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers who ended up winning the NBA Summer League. Have you seen the ring that you get when you win the Summer League?
Stupid
I wouldn't
shit.
wear that shit.
It is not a small ring. Let me tell you that.
I wouldn't wear it. I'm selling it.
It is quite the piece of jewelry, that's for sure. Moving on from there, let's talk about something, nothing, everything, a staple here at Prime Sports World. We haven't really had an opportunity to do something, nothing, or everything in a little bit. So the first one, reports Miami Heat growing frustrated with the Damian Lillard trade talks, and the Damian Lillard trade talks have gotten strange. Portland seems unwilling to facilitate Damian Lillard where he wants to go. And Damian Lillard seems unwilling to play for anyone who is in the Miami Heat. Something, nothing, or everything.
Everything,
for real. Because I'm not trading you. I need what I need back.
Everything that, and also this is a this is a blow to the player mobility thing. Like, these owners, these teams, they are tired of these players being like, hey, I don't want to play here anymore. Well, you don't have a say in that. Especially when you sign contracts, you don't have a say in that. That's over with.
Not to mention, Damian Lillard has been a very good player for the Portland Trailblazers, right? It's not like he's like a LeBron, where he's like won rings and titles for the Portland Trailblazers. Like, they won to a Western Conference Finals one time. Like, the fact that, yes, it's very nice that he's been very loyal to the Portland Trailblazers as long as he's been loyal. But the fact that, the Portland Trailblazers don't owe him anything. Like, he hasn't really won anything with them. He's not an MVP. Like, this is everything.
Because you said it. Like, what have you done for them? I mean, loyalty, cool, great. You should have left 5 years ago, or whenever when
LaMarcus Aldridge left, you should have left too.
Or when they traded CJ McCollum away, you should have left then.
Mm-hmm.
You should when they facilitated that trade, you should have went to them like, hey, well, you got him out of here. If you're gonna do the rebuild completely, it's now on the other side, Damian Lillard kind of looks suspect because it's like you went from saying, hey, you want to get it out the mud to I don't want to play with, I don't want to go through a rebuild. Well, player, what happened to getting it out the mud?
Well, yeah, I think when you draft the heir apparent, it's Scoot Henderson. I mean, yeah, the Damian Lillard trade situation. I thought this trade would be done by now. It seems like this is going to drag on for a
I mean,
while.
like, it would be
because the thing is Miami doesn't have a good package.
They
Like
don't.
they just don't. Like they just
Like,
especially
it's
they
Tyler
don't. They
Hero.
don't.
because they don't want Tyler. They don't want Tyler Hero because they have Scoot Henderson and Shaden Sharp who play the same position. Like,
It's Tyler Hero.
No
It's It's Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, maybe Caleb Martin, and
Nikola Jovic,
and some stuff, and some draft stuff.
Jaime Jaquez, and some draft stuff. Like that's like if Brooklyn is involved, they have a better package. They have Cam Thomas, who's a better player. Like I know Tyler Hero's 1 and 6 man, but I think Cam Thomas has a higher upside, and they have a treasure trove of draft assets.
And if I'm like it, I think it's different if Damian Lillard says, I'm demanding a trade, and then you have a field partner, like you have a field of other partners willing to participate. When you say I want to trade and this is where I want to go, and you limit that team to who they can talk to, that messes us up. Because like take a team like OKC. All right, you already know OKC has a few untouchables. SGA ain't going nowhere. Giddy ain't going nowhere. Holmgren ain't going nowhere. And they just signed.
I think Jay Williams would be untouchable too. I mean,
the other Jay, the dark skinned Jay Williams, he ain't going.
J Dub.
They have the draft capital, and they have the other pieces to be like, okay, we'll send Dame to OKC. Because we already know SGA ain't going nowhere. Like you can probably persuade them to give up Josh Giddey, but it will take a lot.
They have to find what's going to have to happen is they're going to have to find a third team to make this trade happen. That's it. That's all. And whatever that third team is, I don't know. It might be Brooklyn. It might be OKC. But they got to find a third team.
If Brooklyn is that third team, they're getting Damian Lillard. They have the package to get it done. Same thing with Oklahoma City. Moving on to the second one, kind of attached to that, the Rudy Gobert trade last season has ruined superstar trades, probably forever. Because of Rudy Gobert going for a treasure trove of assets, now it's all of these teams like with a superstar that they want to look into move. They're asking for a treasure chest of trades of assets. I mean, look at the Pascal Siakam. I imagine their GM's got to be looking for multiple first-round picks, if not as much as Rudy Gobert went for. As Rudy Gobert is a solid player, but he's not worth like 5 first-round picks.
He's not worth.
And that trade has ruined all superstar trades, possibly forever. Nothing, everything.
It's definitely. Go ahead.
It's definitely something. This is gonna be my last. This is gonna be my last thing. I can't be on Go Talk. I gotta get my car. But this is definitely something. It's killing teams that are. I mean, look. I would say this: if you're already compiling assets, then you got to know that team. If you want a superstar, they're gonna want all of those assets. But it's becoming quite ridiculous. I mean, these teams want 3 first-round picks, 4 first-round picks, and they're giving up a guy that's 30, 31, 32. He's only got 3, 4 good years left in him. You're giving up your future. So that is definitely something to watch out for the NBA. So
agree with you on that or something. Hold on, we can do Go Talk real quick if you can stay on for just a second.
Yeah.
All right, let's do Go Talk real quick. We can do something, nothing, everything another day. But TJ, you're saying it's something on the Gobert stuff.
Yeah, it's something because it's like again, like when you try to trade for a superstar, like what did Gobert go for? 5 first-round picks.
Yeah,
that's to get the conversation started.
So moving on from there, let's do GOAT Talk. I figured I'd do a GOAT Talk inspired by the NBA Summer League since we just spent a lot of time talking about the NBA Summer League. Player A won the NBA Summer League MVP in 2006. He was a first-round pick by the Boston Celtics. He was the 7th overall pick in the first round in 2006. He did not play for Boston, but he did play for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Washington Wizards, Los Angeles Clippers, Utah Jazz, Denver Nuggets, Thunder, Nets. All NBA rookie first team in 2007. For his career, he averaged 10.3 points a game, basically 2 assists and 2 rebounds per game. Do you guys know who player A is? He went to Villanova.
Oh.
And he was the first summer league MVP ever.
Was it Josh Cunningham?
It's not.
No,
Josh
it wasn't Cunningham. No, it wasn't Josh Cunningham.
He's a shooting guard, point guard.
Oh, Randy Foye.
Randy Foye. So Randy Foye was the first ever summer league MVP and the third ever summer league MVP in 2008 as a member of the Portland Trailblazers. He was the first round pick in 2008, number 11. He was drafted by the Indiana Pacers. Also did not play for them. He played for the Blazers, Hornets, Raptors, Grizzlies, Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, Timberwolves. He also went to Arizona for college. He was a McDonald's All-American, second team All-Pac-10. He averaged 8.4 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists per game.
Wait, what year was this?
2008.
Arizona?
Yep. 11th overall by the Pacers, but did not play for them. He was the Summer League MVP that season.
So you said he was drafted by the Pacers, 11th overall.
Yep. 2008.
2008.
But he didn't play for them. He ended up playing for the Portland Trailblazers.
He ended up playing for the Trailblazers, 11th overall, 2008. That's Derrick Rose year. When was Derrick Rose? 09. Oh, he's 08. Oh. What college did he go to?
Arizona.
Oh, he went to Arizona. Oh, this is a tough one. Point guard, shooting guard, what position?
Point guard, shooting guard.
Point guard, shooting guard.
6'3", 200 pounds. He was first team parade All-American, whatever that is. Fourth team parade All-American 2006.
Oh, this is a tough one, man. Man. Oh no, I don't know this one. I wouldn't know this one. I don't. Yeah.
So this one is Jared. This one is Jared Bayless.
Oh my God, I forgot about him. I forgot.
That's clear. His best season was in 2010 as a member of the Raptors. Averaged 11 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. But if you had to pick between Randy Foye and Jared Bayless, when it comes to GOAT talk, who actually had a really good season in 2009, where he had 60 points a game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds.
Just off their summer league stuff?
No, it's just their careers in general. Randy Foye or Jared Bayless.
I'm gonna go Randy Foye. Randy Foye.
Yeah, I mean he was on Minnesota during some lean years. Like they were
horrible.
Those teams was Al Jefferson and not
Kevin Love.
Right, young Kevin Love. Like it was.
Yeah, he was part of that Kevin Garnett trade, I think. Like I think he was part of the return for Kevin Garnett.
So Randy Foye, it was Randy because they had the trio, or really it was 4 guards because you had Allen Ray, Randy Foye, and Kyle Lowry on that Villanova team.
Yeah,
they were all Americans. They made it to the Elite Eight and all that good stuff. But Jared Bayless, man, I remember when he was in Toronto, and Derrick Rose cooked him. And Derrick Rose cooked a lot of guys. But he really cooked Jared Bayless that one night when he was like snatching guys glass and all of that stuff. Remember that, guys? That one game. Yeah, he was snatching guys' balls off the glass when they played Toronto at the UC. So I'm going Randy Foye because I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Randy Foye get done like Jared Bayless did. So.
I'm going to go Randy Foye too. It was hard actually to make a GOAT talk out of the NBA Summer League because there's like I could have done Blake Griffin versus John Wall, who won back-to-back Summer League MVPs in 2009 and 2010. Could have gone Damian Lillard versus either of those two guys, but I wanted to go for a little lesser names. But yeah, thank you very much for checking out GOAT Talk. Let's swing back into something, nothing, everything as he prepares to leave us on the show. We'll see you tomorrow. For the New York Jets show. You don't want to miss that content. TJ, okay, real quick. I got one more. Something, nothing, everything. When Chris Paul was asked about coming off the bench, by the way, his entrance, press conference, geez, could they have not? They didn't pull out any of the red carpet. They just basically were whatever. His response to that question was, "Are you the coach? Something, nothing, or everything."
He said that to the
A
reporter.
reporter. Yeah. He said he didn't realize that because they were asking him about coming off the bench and working for the second unit. What do you
Yeah.
expect it to look like? And then his response was, "Are you the coach?"
Um, I guess because it's Chris Paul, it's gonna be like, oh, this is nothing. But at the same time, like if you're the Golden State Warriors, that's something to them because it's like, hey, bro, you gonna play whatever role we say play,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
right? Like you got to understand here, like it's rings and teams over here, right? Like,
The Chris Paul being in Golden State is just strange. Like, remember when they almost like fought, like when those two locker rooms almost fought, like when he was a member of the Clippers.
yeah, and like what you got, like him and Draymond Green got their differences, and oh,
Yeah.
now Draymond Green is looking forward to talking stuff out amongst adults and grown men. It's like, bro, first off, act like one. Take your own
Yeah.
advice and take your own advice and act like one. Like, what is there to air out? First off, just he's your teammate now. Like, I understand, like we don't like you don't quote unquote forget stuff over here and whatnot, but you're also talking about some stuff that's I don't know how many years old. Like, let it go. Like, let it go. I don't know, but again, like if you're Chris Paul, you got to understand, like, hey, they have stuff that you don't. Now, don't get me wrong, you're a Hall of Famer. You're gonna be there, right? Like, you're the point guard, all that good stuff. But at the same time, they have rings, you don't. So at this point in time, if they say, "Hey, man, you gonna run with the second unit," guess what you're doing? You gonna run with the second unit.
Yeah.
It's either run with the second unit, or they do you like, or you get done like how unceremoniously how Carmelo Anthony was done.
Yep. And then he was able to come back in the league and play for Portland. Yeah, I think this is for sure something. I think Chris Paul. I think his ego eventually will, because he's never come off the bench. Yeah, I think he's never come off the bench, but I think he's going to buy into what is going to get him potentially a ship. Because the conversation changes if Chris Paul gets a championship. Like
because like, well, it does. It's like the difference is, I think Golden State and Steve Kerr, like they have the class and the wherewithal to go to a Chris Paul and have that conversation with him. Houston and Melo, Mike D'Antoni just automatically thought that, oh, if we move Melo to the bench, he's gonna accept that. Like, no, bro, like that's a Hall of Famer who's never came off the bench any time in his life. And you just automatically thought that if you put him on the bench, he's gonna accept it, and then you act surprised when he doesn't.
And then another thing, I mean, Chris Paul seems to revel in these like doubt when people doubt him. Like, remember like when he went to Oklahoma City, like people were like, "Oh, he's done. Like Oklahoma City's gonna have to like." He's a negative asset at this point. Like they're never going to be able to move him. He basically took that team to the playoffs and like the whole.
I thought he was never. I'm like, oh, he's never going to play a game with them. Like like they gonna trade. Like he got traded there, and it's like, oh, they gonna trade him and get some more assets. And it's just like, nah, he's like, nah, he made the best of a bad situation, which is fine. But if you're Chris Paul, you also got to understand, like, hey, man, you're closer to the end than you are the middle.
That's true. He's 38 years old. He's not father.
38 years old.
Next one. I got two more. This one's pretty simple. A team successful in its first coaching challenge will get a second one in the same game. This is something me and you have talked about for a long time. That you should be able to continue challenging stuff until you get one wrong. But the team successfully in first coach, something, nothing, everything.
Something. I think eventually that's going to be the direction they go. Like hey, you keep challenging until you get it wrong. But obviously, like the issue with that is like slowing the game down, all that good stuff. But even now with the one challenge, they are very reluctant to waste that one challenge because it's like, hey, I know if I get this wrong, I'm not gonna have another one. And even now, even though if you get it right, you keep it, you get another one. Teams are still going to be reluctant because it's like, hey, if I win this challenge, yes, I can challenge again, but if I lose this challenge, I'm not going to be able to challenge anything. So it's the same thing. It's really like the only difference is you just get another challenge, but it's something. It's a step in the right direction.
I agree with you. This is for sure something. Yeah, I like it. And then finally, the NBA Board of Governors has approved the sale of the Hornets by Michael Jordan. That just broke this morning. Something, nothing, everything, as his run as an NBA owner seems to be over.
In the bigger picture of things, it's everything, and let me explain what I mean by that. In our community, in the black community, black ownership is a very big thing, right? We don't own a lot of anything. We don't own a lot. And when you talked about black ownership, the first name that popped up was his. It's Michael Jordan. Like he took something. He took something that was small with the signature shoe, and he grew it into his own empire and parlayed that into owning a NBA franchise, thus creating generational wealth for his family. Like, dude really don't even have to keep his minority claim because he's still affiliated with the team. He's
still a minority owner. He's not the majority owner anymore, though.
Like that's a huge thing because it's like that was one of the things. Like that was one of the few things that we had. It's like, hey, black ownership, hey, Michael Jordan. Like that's what we had. And in NBA terms, I just want to know why James Dolan voted against it. Like he was literally the only one. Like it was
given how Michael Jordan has run the Charlotte Hornets, I would want him to stay the owner too.
but check this out though, right? Like, even with that being said, you still got folks that say James Dolan is the worst owner in sports, even with how bad the Hornets have been ran with Jordan there, calling shots and doing all this. You still got folks that say James Dolan is worse than him. So I really don't think it makes a difference if that's what he's worried about.
I was 100% kidding, but
I understand
that is for sure the worst owner in sports. Have you heard like the crazy stuff that like where he like has like cameras and like has this crazy technology that can like locate people in Madison Square Garden?
Like, bro, like you do you not think Jordan like Hornets fans were yelling at Michael Jordan, sell the team, he's terrible, this, that, and the third? Like, you really don't think Jordan was going on about that? You want to know why we didn't hear about it? Because Jordan is like, what they're entitled to say that. Like, you tell James Dolan to his face, sell the team, he kicks you out.
He bans you from the arena.
And bans you from the arena.
Yeah,
like Jordan ain't doing that stuff.
Yeah, also Michael Jordan doesn't care what other people think of him.
He doesn't care.
Straight up does not care. But yeah, this is for sure something. It does also leave the NBA without a black majority owner of any team in the NBA.
With the expansion, and I think you can throw this in because it just came off my head. Like my something, nothing, or everything is the NBA is one step closer to naming Vegas and Seattle its next two expansion teams, something, nothing, or everything. And I'm gonna go first. Like, that's everything because one, Seattle should have never lost their team. And the one thing that people feared about with a team being in Vegas, with the whole gambling thing, gambling is it's an everyday subject now. Like you literally got odds that roll across the ticker tape on ESPN about who like the favorite to do this. I mean,
they have a whole show that's just like 30
minutes. A whole show.
Like it's all it is them discussing gambling for the entire show. I'm like, all right.
Like
it's for sure something. I actually think that I think LeBron James is going to own one of those two teams. Like he's either going to own I think he's going to own that team in Vegas. Like if he's retired at that point, which is maybe.
Don't get me wrong. Like it's a lot of legwork that has to go into it, right? You got to find you got to find buyers. You got to find locale, like where they're gonna play. I don't know If the
I
I
mean,
don't know.
they're building a mega, like a huge arena in Vegas. Like
I think that's for the A's.
they're
Like because
building they're building a bunch of stuff in Vegas, but they're building a basketball arena in Vegas. And Seattle, the stadium, so they renovated whatever that stadium is called that they used to
yeah,
play in.
it used to be like the
Yeah, the
key
Key Arena.
something.
Yeah, but it's not
Key
called that
Arena.
anymore. But Adam Silver has basically looked at the renovations. He's signed off on that team, like on that arena.
So
So
that's good because like I know for a fact because I think the Golden Knights I know they play at the T-Mobile Center in Vegas right now, and I know that's why I was going. Like I don't know if they approve the team in Vegas. Like when they approve the team in Vegas, are they gonna play there, or are they just gonna like play there while that this new megaplex is being built, and then everybody's just gonna move to this
all
new
I
center?
know is that LeBron James will be owning that team in Vegas. I'm calling it.
And I do know that folks in Vegas currently, I got a cousin that live out there. Like he says, like the residents out there, like they're low key not happy about it. Because I know, like I said, Oakland's getting ready to the Oakland Athletics. They've just lost they've lost their franchise. They're moving to Vegas, so they got to build a baseball arena for those guys to play in, and it has to be a dome because Vegas it's hot. Like
Especially in the summer.
you're not gonna subject those dudes or those fans to sitting out in Vegas heat in the middle of the day. Like no, that's gonna be a dome, but that also means like politics involved, taxes go up for that stuff because hey, somebody's got to pay for it,
Yep.
right? So that's the aspect he was going with. Like yo, like my cousin out there, he's like, hey, Vegas, the residents out there, they're excited, but they're not happy because hey, tax like it because it's different though. Like when you include the Vegas Knights to this, and there's already a structure there for
where
them to play in.
the Aces play too. Like that's
Like
another arena. I mean, the Death
yeah,
Star is there. Like now, there's gonna be another stadium where the Oakland Athletics are gonna play. Like
and
it's gonna get busy.
Very.
So
And the what you call it?
I mean, that's one of the reasons that Seattle lost their team in the first place is because they wouldn't approve a tax increase to build a new stadium because something I don't remember what it was, but yeah, that's what caused the guy to sell the team. Like we guess he was the former CEO of Starbucks or something.
Yeah, and then like the guy that currently owns them now is like when he tried it and same thing, he got denied. And he's just like, all right, well, we're just gonna start the relocation process. And KD talked about it, and when he heard the choices, and I think what's his name, Clay Bennett, I think that's his name. He's like Clay Bennett talks to the team, and he's like, we got three relocation options. He's like, we got San Diego, we got this, and we got OKC, and KD is like, bro, you're from OKC. I already know where you're going with this. Like, just don't act like you just threw those other two filler cities in there just to be like, oh, we're seriously considering our options when you knew for a fact you was moving the team to Oklahoma City the entire time.
And I think Oklahoma City also earned themselves a team because I think that they were the home where the Hornets or the Pelicans played after Katrina.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but yeah, that's a conversation for a whole nother time. We have jumping back into our NBA season preview, our NFL season preview stuff tomorrow. New York Jets and the new looking New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. Doing that show tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, Hard Knocks. They're getting Hard Knocks as well. I'm David Huppin. Right there is Mr. TJ Hopkins, and please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. And TJ, what do we do here at the Prime, my friend?
We bring the heat, kind sir.
And the heat is coming, man. It's supposed to be like 95 by the end of the week. So
it's the next 4 days are going to be brutal. Hey, so stay hydrated, stay cool. Don't go outside unless you absolutely have to. David, I'm not joking when I'm saying this. I'm being 100% serious. Get the air in your car fixed. That's not safe.
No, dude, I just roll. I don't drive far, dude. I have like
I have a
5-minute drive.
It's not the point. It's not the point.
I do appreciate it. No. You guys all have a good night. Stay safe out there. Peace out.
See you, man.